if they want to take Lyra out of the pool, Snow want to take Lyra out, which is often the case, I would assume Vox gets picked up here. Ringo's actually one of these good counters that Snow do tend to pick up sometimes.
Yeah, this is a really interesting start to the draft. We were talking about Team Secret being one of the best teams when it comes to drafting, and I think you can see that here. I mean, Snow, they certainly do play Ringo, although I wouldn't say it's one of their most prioritized picks, but if you were picking it into a Vox, it would make a lot of sense. They've gone for the Kestrel and the Catherine. Do you think the Kestrel can serve a similar purpose here? Maybe it goes to the jungle, though.
Yeah, it can go into the jungle, but it can serve that similar purpose. The thing is that we've seen PT Lamb actually take this to lane quite a bit.
So Siska's playing for Snow Tsunami today, so I guess maybe he was just on a brief hiatus. Now he's back. That could change things up here. Obviously, PT Lamb and Look at Me play slightly differently to Araxi.
Yeah, definitely. It will change their vibe a little bit, but these guys, they play together so long. And we talked earlier about how they can play different positions. I think that goes back to how long these guys have been playing this game. They're really old-school players. Their hero pools are incredibly deep, and they can swap around. But maybe that's not the best thing when you're going up against Team Secret, who doesn't even have a sub, because they just do what they do best. They show up every time.
Yeah, they don't need a sub, man. They know everyone's going to be there every day. We've got a Celeste as the final pick for Snow Tsunami, and the Taka and Finn for Team Secret. Now, we saw Team Secret in the game that was off-camera, Scoundrel and Jingyi.
Thank you very much, guys. What a wonderful start to the second day of the EVA late here. I am with Jingyi, and obviously, I am Scoundrel. Got two drafts going on here. This is a rematch of the European Spring Split Finals, I believe, Jingyi. So this is like the El Clasico of Vainglory, you could say. These two guys, these two teams have been at it for a very long time now. You've heard the analyst desk opinions. What are you feeling like here, Jingyi? What do you think is playing into whose favour based on the draft?
I think, well, I do think, I really like Snow Tsunami's draft, I really do, and I feel that if they get into the late game, they're really going to have a good time of it, but I do worry about that Kestrel. She's going to be a little bit more vulnerable, but the Catherine and the Celeste, though, there's so much potential there for the chain stuns, for the core collapse and the Merciless Pursuit. And, you know, the core collapse is an easiest stun to land when it's the only stun available in your team, but with that Catherine there, or even with a few silences, you know, that can really take out a whole team.
Absolutely, mate. I think what I would be worried about is that Catherine is so good at protecting a singular carry, but not so good at protecting two fairly squishy carries. So I think these active camo users are going to have to be great. I think Blast Tremor is going to have to be on point as we go longer into the game, whereas Finn, as we know, is actually pretty good at peeling for the entire team. Finn can do what Catherine can do, but better in the late game, which is why Finn generally is considered the best late game roaming support hero. But I agree. I like Snow's composition. They've got a lot of poke there. So if they get that Crucible early on and deal with the Forced Accord, then they should have a slight advantage going up against Team Secret.
I feel like Finn is a bit of a double-edged sword there. You know, he's either really good, you know, he can pull in just one person, that's exactly the person you want to pull in, or you can pull in the whole team, and that's not what you want. And it's not easy, but I feel like Mowgli, though, he's the one that pulls off these most fantastical, like, hooks there through the wall. He doesn't even need a flare to do it, he just knows where they are, and I really want to see some of those today.
I think actually versus some compositions it's okay to pull in the entire team. I wouldn't be too averse to pulling in the entire team here because you've got both Celeste and Kestrel in there. You're only worried about pulling Catherine in, right? If there was a Glaive, for instance, then I'd be like, oh yes, maybe you have to choose your Forced Accords a little bit better. But in this situation, just pull them in. Vox stayed far enough away, land a good quibble, and allow Taka to do his thing. Seems like a fairly reasonable situation. But we've seen how dominant Team Secret have been, and honestly, just based on their gameplay yesterday, they have looked upon another level that we've seen them in the past. So I think Snow Tsunami definitely have some work to do. Despite looking pretty good, they still had a game taken off them, you know, whereas Team Secret were just so dominant across both games.
Yes, Secret, I feel like every single game we've seen them so far, every series, it's just been a 2-0 win for them. And I think the only one that they were really kind of put to any struggle was the one against Gangster Cerberus. And I think that was like a 2-1, I think that was pretty exciting, pretty close game there. But Snow Tsunami, this is the matchup we've seen time and time again, and I'm thinking that maybe Snow Tsunami, they've watched the VODs, they know what's happening, they can probably try and anticipate what Team Secret's doing, which is kill Look at Me.
Yeah, absolutely. We have got a fight going on over here as Palmatoro is the first to go down. Look at Me is very low. Mowgli taking a serious amount of damage. He's going for the kill and does get it. So a 1-for-2, a nice turnaround, and Kavalafar now on the hunt. PT Lamb doesn't have the energy to deal with him, but Sissiska can get the stun. The stun does come down onto Kavalafar. Can Kavalafar kite backwards? PT Lamb is doing a whole host of damage. And now I think Kavalafar will go down here to Celeste. So a good clean-up here by Snow Tsunami to get them off to a blinding start in this best of 3.
I feel Kavalafar should just not have gone in. He lost 2 of his teammates and it was a 1v2 situation. Yeah, so PC Lam was a bit low on energy, but they still have a Catherine there with, and there was the stuns, and she caught him out. And I think, his damage at level 4, it just wasn't that great as a Crystal Vox.
Absolutely. It doesn't take long for Celeste to regenerate that energy, just to at least hit 1 Heliogenesis, and at this level they start to really hurt Vox. So, yeah, I think bitten off a little bit more than he could chew there, Kavalafar. But he is back to lane now, currently sitting on 32 CS and Catherine on 37. So Snow Tsunami do have that slight advantage in the early game. 500 gold lead right now. So can they expand on it? Can they get it further ahead? Can they potentially take a game off Team Secret here?
I think I don't think the last time we saw a game being taken off Team Secret, they've made it look so easy so far. And Snow Tsunami, I think they have a good comp here. They could possibly counter it. They've got, I feel like the Catherine going to look at me being cut out.
Yeah, look at me, goes down there. Tried to use the active camera to get the stun off, but Palmatoro finishes the job. A slice across Kestrel and she goes into the floor. So Team Secret, with some clever jungle rotations here, will get themselves a good lead back, or at least try and level up the scoreboard. So 2-3 and the gold slightly coming back in their favour. Now they're taking away these back camps, but it looks like Snow Tsunami want to make a collapse happen with Sisiska and PT Lam here.
I think Palmatores knows what's up though, but actually no, he doesn't. They have. I don't think they know PT Lam's gone into their jungle at all. They might be going in, but I think PT Lam could easily clear it by the time they get there. But that's clever counter jungling coming out from PT Lam. He knows that they've just taken his side, and by doing this, he's securing the farm for his side, and by having Kester going up to lane there, he's keeping it.
He
got the 2.
There. Yeah, he got the 2, so he got the singular camp, which is not bad, taking a back camp away. If Palmatori doesn't realise, then his rotation could get messed up, but he actually has taken the easy rotation here, taking what he can see, so he will realise that potentially this has happened now and won't even bother trying to take away that back camp.
It's starting off pretty tame so far. It's still pretty even, but even if Team Secret do fall behind 1 or 2k gold, they always somehow manage to bring it back. Oh, Palmator getting stunned.
Palmator getting stunned, a lot of damage coming down, but Mowgli is there. Provide that meat shield that a Finn can. 1 shot, 1 kill comes out, but it doesn't quite manage to get the executing blow. And Palmatoro will walk away, using that box to regenerate some health, and will be very, very safe as he moves back into his own jungle here, Jingy.
Yeah, it feels like Team Secret are playing quite safe. I feel like usually at this point they have managed to get a few ganks and they've managed to pick up a few kills already. This is their slow and steady approach, but they're not being too aggressive. They're being quite cautious in terms of how adventurous they're being there. They're going into the jungle, but you have Taka who can run away very easily.
How does Team Secret need to approach these team fights? Because obviously if they don't get an engage that they want, they will just get poked out like crazy. What are they looking to do in these team fights? What is their win condition?
Well, I think for what Palmator, I think, is their kind of key part there. He needs to be able to jump on to look at me or PC Lam, but that's when the problem kind of comes, because they've got Catherine there, and I feel like Catherine's a fantastic counter attacker, because if he jumps into the middle of all 3 onto one target, and she can stun him, and then he is stuck there, and then you've got the chain stun coming out from PC Lam there, so he's gonna have to get a reflex block relatively soon, or be able to dodge the attack with his Kaitan. And then you have to get Team Cave Alpha in relatively close range to all 3 members of them to try and get those resonance bounces on all 3 members there, because the resonance is where the damage comes from that crystal box.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a fisticuffs fight going over on the Snow Tsunami jungle, but Team Secret want no more part. And they're just going to continue to steal away these front camps. So they are getting a decent amount of gold siphon from the Snow Tsunami jungle. Kavalafar now making his way back to lane as PT Lam backs off, so he won't be too scared of going face to face with Sisiska there in that brush, and will continue to farm up this lane here. Now, what builds are we seeing, Jingyu? What are you expecting, and do you think the build paths that they've gone are correct?
Yeah, they've gone the pretty standard ones. We're seeing PT Lam there with that Broken Myth. That's a pretty normal first item for that Celeste to get. And look at me with that Sour Blade as well. So they're really standard, the first tier 3 items to build. And look at me, you could go a Breaking Point, Bone Saw, PT Lam. I'm expecting to get even a Shark Glass and Eve next, probably to help with the energy regen. He's got that energy battery there. So an Eve will help to sustain that he will be doing. And we saw him yesterday. He had a really good match as a Celeste yesterday. He was able to stay alive for so long.
So I want to raise a sort of an interesting point with the Team Secret builds. That Palmator has gone for weapon power Taka here, as just potentially going to have a small engage. TS Mowgli is going to land a quibble there, but doesn't have the stun yet. Kavalifar has come onto the back line, and I think, oh, the Force of Core comes through. PT Lamb stuck in the middle. Palmatoro does get stunned up, but a lot of damage coming through here. The Blast Tremor does get a good silence off, and now Team Secret look like they are trying to disengage. And that was a very hectic little fight with no gain on either side. Through some nice support roaming ultimates, I'd say. It was a good forced chord, but I think that Blast Tremor really kept a lot of Snow Tsunami alive in that situation. Kavalifar does get stunned, but there is no one there. Actually, Mowgli does actually get a kill with the Quibble there onto Kestrel, so he will go down. That's another kill there for Team Secret. And Kavalifar, stepping quite far forward, does get hit by Heliogenesis, which will force him back away from that turret.
I want to say, in that last team fight, did you notice Palmator flipping over the Solar Star? I think that was really impressive.
Yes,
that was so impressive.
The Chitin there. I think he got stunned up by Catherine and immediately used Chitin, which actually went over the Solar Storm.
I don't know if it's intentional, but...
I think he was probably expecting to be stunned by Celeste, so he was like Chitining out of anticipation, and then actually ended up dodging the Solar Storm, which was pretty nice. What I wanted to point out before that happened is we've got a weapon power attacker here, and actually we've got a crystal power Vox, which I think is really interesting because you wouldn't want to be grouping up, or maybe they do want to be grouping up against the Finns, so this actually makes more sense. These resonance bounces can punish them for grouping up, as Taka going aggressive again actually picks up a kill here onto the Kestrel, and Sisiska's just going to back away. Mowgli doesn't have that fourth chord, just used it in that small engage and will back off with his team. So what do you make of this? Do you think that's kind of like a way to punish them not grouping up for the fourth chord, or rather grouping up to try and not get isolated by fourth chord?
I think so, but also the Crystal Vox. I feel like Crystal Vox is something that we see Team Secret play a few. We've seen them play a few times. That's okay. We've seen them play a few times, but against two ranged carries, especially one of the ranges as long as a Kestrel and a Celeste, I feel like maybe it wasn't the best choice here, and I think a Weapon Vox even would have been better in those 1v1 situations. But then again, you would have to be left with double weapon there, or even have Palmator go Crystal Tackle, a build path that we've never really seen any success on, to be honest.
Yeah, we see a lot of teams still go for that aftershock kind of on-hit crystal power attacker and not had much success with it. Someone that we did see have success with this weapon power attacker was Tony Luo from
Tony.
and he actually went really big as just like a big force accord onto PT Lamb there. PT Lamb taken very low, but the fountain is going to keep him alive. Team Secret again battered back by this Snow Tsunami team, who are just finding impossible to break right now for Team Secret. They're looking for the engages with Mowgli, but not quite getting any fruit for their labours.
Yeah, they're doing really well defensively, and I feel like they're actually coming out better in these kind of fights there. And PT Lamb, his Celeste play is absolutely outstanding. You know, if you look at his core collapse positioning, they're absolutely fantastic. You know, he was able to pull back to safety, put a core collapse in right in front of him, anticipating someone might jump on him. And you know, if they had, they would have been stunned up under a turret. So I think PT Lamb, his Celeste play is one of the best.
That's a Broken Myth now finished for Kavalifar. Double item spike, alternating current Broken Myth already done for him. Probably going to see a Bonesaw next on Palmatoro, I think that's a breaking point or a Bonesaw. I can't quite, because I'm casting from my phone today, so the screen is a lot smaller, but I don't have the lag. So you'll have to tell me if I can't see things correctly.
Bonesaw.
Okay, it's going to I Bonesaw. We actually are potentially seeing, I think there's a chronograph on Mowgli, has picked up the fountain and is just picking up a little bit, I think, armor here for the look at me. Actually, they do get the first turret of the game here, so that's pretty good. Started to push down, get a little bit more map presence, and have finally taken that gold lead, but only by 200 gold from Snow Tsunami, who had that since the start of the game.
Yeah, that's they've been pushing that turret fairly consistently, but Kavalifar about to be caught out there.
Yeah, Kavalifar getting caught out. Palmatoro does have to go backwards, does get silenced. One shot, one kill, won't land. And now Kavalifar going back in here. Those resonance bounces are really starting to hurt, forcing Snow Tsunami to split up. And that's when Mowgli will be looking to pounce. 15 seconds left on that forced accord. But nothing's going to come of it. And Kavalifar are going to continue to clear those waves.
I feel like the thing about Team Secret's comp, not Team Secret's, well, yeah, the thing about Team Secret's comp is I feel like they're struggling to find an opening to try and dive onto this. Palmatore, every time he has to try to go into PC Lam or look at me, he's been stunned because there's a lot of stun there, but there is the active camo there combined with the, a glimmer shot in and you get stunned, and I think that's happened once. We've got PC Lam and Cisco as well, but also the stuns, and the thing about Snow Tsunami is that they've got a lot of poke there coming out for them. They're playing this comp right. They're poking away, doing a lot of damage, forcing Team Secret to back off. And Team Secret, they're struggling to find this opening, and they're having to resort to just kind of put a little damage down on the turrets each time.
They forced a cord and Quibble come out from Mowgli, but neither hit anything here, as obviously the force cord didn't quite land onto either Cisco or PT Lam. And now Mowgli has another 18 seconds before he can rev that one up. Is this an opportunity for Snow Tsunami? Look at me, does go in with that active camo. The glimmer shots do start to chunk away on that river troll, but they aren't going to commit. They don't want to commit. But do Team Secret want to commit here? Because Palmatore is looking potentially for an opening. It's very tense between these two age-old rivals, both of them vying for that final of this Evil 8 weekend. Very closely matched teams, to be honest, Jingy.
Yeah, well, Team Secret, they won two out of the three finals from the last split. And they're, both of these teams are in a good position. Snow Tsunami, they haven't actually done that yet, but that forced the cord.
Forced the cord and the Quibble land. PT Lam suddenly taking a lot of damage. They're forcing that very early fountain. They're trying to go straight onto PT Lam, but the turret doing some serious work. Palmatore gets taken very low. The flare does pick him off, but the one shot won't kill, won't quite land. Now Kavalafar, oh, he is chunking, he is beating, and this is Snow Tsunami getting pounded into the ground as those resonance bounces start to beat away. But they won't get any more than one, and Kavalafar also taken incredibly low. It's a 1-for-0 in what could have been so much more.
Yeah, that was the opening that Team Secret were looking for. They were Mowgli actually. This is an instance where you do actually want to pull more than one person.
Another forced chords and the Quibble lands, but Palmatore gets locked up under the turret by the stun, and it's a 1-for-1. Brilliant reactions from PT Lam right there.
Bold moves from Mowgli with that force core there. Yeah, fantastic that PC Lam was able to pick up the kill there in a 1v2 situation. Understandably, he wasn't the one with the advantage there, and that was very nice going. That's what as I was saying before, Team Secret, that's the opening that they want to be doing. They want Mowgli to be pulling in more than one person. That way, Kavalafar can get the resonance on as many of them as possible, because that's what he did in that first force core. He was able to pull in two people. Kavalafar managed to put the resonance on everyone, used the weight for it, and the damage was just astounding. They were able to get away in time, but by that point the damage had already been done. Oh,
look at me, straight in, uses the reflex block onto the forced cord, but does get killed eventually by the Quibble. He did reflex block there, but the fortified health from Polite Company keeping Kavalafar nice and healthy, and this is going to give the opportunity to go straight for Kraken. But with PT Lam alive, is this a good decision from Team Secret?
No, I feel like Kavalafar really does the watch, and because of that broken myth, it's really going to do a significant amount of damage if they keep going on this Kraken. Oh my god, that forced cord.
That forced cord was ridiculous. PT Lam on the wrong side of the team right now. Palmatore going to work and will pick up the kill here. Kraken almost captured. Is Cisco looking for the steal? I think they're going to have to be very careful, but no, Kavalafar is going to start to force Catherine away. One shot, one kill comes out, and it steals it! One shot, one kill, and the Kraken is unfortunately handed over to Snow Tsunami. What a steal! Oh my word, look at me. We should be looking at you, my friend. He has been excellent so far, but well, to be honest, I say excellent so far, he's 1 for 6, but that has made up for everything right there. Wow, what a one shot, one kill.
Yeah, and the Team Secret were doing well to try and stand in front of that Kraken to try and block it, but obviously not well enough, because that just changed everything for the pace of the game.
Oh, but the force cord was brilliant. The Quibble does get blocked, the wait for it does miss here, so look at me able to go back in after getting away with the active camo. So Cisco's starting to get very low, the resonances are starting to hurt. This fountain is popped early, I think here. Look at me gets drawn in by the Polite Company, but PT Lam has come to the rescue, and now Snow Tsunami can look to be aggressive, but with the Kraken down, as don't think there's much more they can do, and Team Secret, they do recover from a massive steal.
Massive steal. They're only able to get one turret there, so they did lose a bit of gold, but if Team Secret had gotten the Kraken, I think things would have gone a lot worse. They really did keep the fight in a little bit longer. And actually, if you still look at the gold, Snow Tsunami only 2k behind. And I feel that PC Lamb's almost beginning to reach his full build. Looks like he's going to be going for a Shatter class or a Frostburn next. And, you know, he's almost got that metal jacket completed. So that will really help with that Taka jumping on him every single time. So I feel like Taka should really be focusing on Look At Me now, who has absolutely no armor. And if he does that, he's really going to be able to take her out very quickly.
Absolutely. So now Team Secret. Looking at some of the item spikes we're seeing here, Jingyi, that's the Eve of Harvest on Kavalafar now, so he's picked up the Alternating Current, the Broken Myth, and the Eve of Harvest. We've got a Bonesaw Sorrow Blade for Palmatora. He looks like he's picked up the Aegis. We've got an Aegis on Kavalafar too, like you said, so a lot of defensive options coming out here for Team Secret also. And you get the impression that Team Secret are having the better of the fights, but that one-shot, one-kill definitely kept Snow Tsunami in. But that is Sasiska getting dragged through, locked up by the Quibble. The resonances are really starting to hurt here. Wait for it, does land. Look At Me goes down to Palmatora, but Palmatora is stunned. The Solar Storm landing too, but the Fountain keeps him alive. And Team Secret, they are looking to continue their success in the Evil Lane. They take another turret here, and it only seems like a matter of time before they're able to grind down that snow to, unfortunately, a small puddle on the floor.
Oh, poor Snow Tsunami. But, you know, they're doing well. That's, you know, it's still close, and we're actually getting to 20 minutes now, and this is probably one of the closest games that Team Secret have been put to in the Evil Age. It's, you know, they've really not had much of a challenge, to be honest.
No, it seemed like they've had such an easy time, but this is a better performance than we saw from G2. This has already gone past the 16-minute mark, which was the longest game that they had versus G2 yesterday. So, you know, you can see the level that is almost equal between these two teams. And honestly, for most of this game, it did look like Snow Tsunami had the advantage, but Team Secret just seemed to be revving up that pressure now, Jingyi. And this is kind of what we've come to expect from Team Secret. It's all about their team play, because they've been together so long as a team that you just feel that they have that cohesion emanating from them whenever they play.
Definitely, and oh, that's going to be blocked. But I feel like Sasiska, with that amount of cooldown, and she's got the not contraption, she's got the clockwork, and she's got the aftershock. That's a lot of cooldown coming out from her. I think this is really quite good for Snow Tsunami, but they do have to watch their positioning. We're seeing PC Lamp taking a lot of damage
those
from those
bounces
resonance
are really, they're absolutely crushing them down. Team Secret is saying, you go for Kraken, we're just going to go for your base. They're going to try and look for a flank here. Mowgli maybe looking to make something happen with a Force to Core. Palmatoro went into the box. He does go in here. Force to Core does get blocked, but Palmatoro taking a lot of damage under turret. He's gone very low at this point in time. The Solar Storm picks up the kill, and Sasiska now retreating with the rest of his team. That is a 1-for-0. Actually, I think, no, someone went down to the Resonance bounty. It was Look At Me, so it's a 1-for-1 so far. PT Lamb gets drawn in by the Polite Company. Mowgli taken very low and does go down to the turret, and it's now just Kavalafar. So there's a 2-for-1. A good trade for Snow Tsunami, but you feel like they are winning these with help from turrets, with help from misplays. You think if on a level playing field, Team Secret seem to be able to take it every time.
I definitely have to agree with you. It's just Kavalafar. That resonance is actually just absolutely wreaking havoc. And I think Snow Tsunami, they're really struggling to stay in formation and stay far apart to avoid those hitting them every single time. But you know, we're seeing a lot of shield coming out from PC Lamb there with that Aegis already. And Look At Me gearing up to get one sooner. He probably has enough gold to get it, to be honest. And I just feel like Team Secret, you know, they did lose Palmatora and Mowgli that fight, but Kavalafar, their main damage dealer, he's looking pretty healthy to me.
Yeah, Kavalafar does look untouched throughout the majority of these fights. Sasiska actually now, solo versus Kavalafar, is going to start to back away, but we'll have the support of Look At Me very, very quickly. Sasiska may be looking to turn around with that aftershock. He's got a couple of seconds on his charge, so they'll be waiting for that. Kavalafar now stunned up here. Has he overstepped the boundary? He's been taken very low, but Palmatoro is here. Yes, Kavalafar will go down. The wait for it does land, but now it's Mowgli versus the rest. And Kraken has come into the fray now and started to wail onto PT Lamb. Mowgli is going to be the next target. A good quibble will buy him some time, but time is more than he needs as Snow Tsunami take 2-for-0 and also the Kraken.
That was the fight that Snow Tsunami were looking for, able to catch Kavalafar unawares in the shop. And you know, normally you wouldn't expect him to be caught out by one of that core collapse. He would have blocked it, but he wasn't able to in that instance. And they were really able to take advantage of that. You know, if you look at Me there, he's got so much weapon damage, and Kavalafar has absolutely no armor. Those glimmer shots are absolutely so much damage to Kavalafar, and they really took advantage of that and were able to take him down very quickly. Even though he did try to move back defensively, it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. indeed. Now the Kraken, what can they do with it? Have they got the opportunity here to win the first game of the series as Team Secret, who have looked so good through the majority of this? A small misplay from Kavalafar chasing too hard into the enemy jungle could potentially have given up so much pressure here for Team Secret. I don't think they'll lose off this push. They may even be able to clear many of the waves and only lose this turret. The Autocord comes through, does force the Crucible very early on here. And something fell over in my house, you may have been able to hear it. PT Land taken very low here from the Resonance Bounces. This is going to force the Mountain very early on from Snow Tsunami, so they're going to want to wait for that cooldown to come back up. But that buys Team Secret the time to take out the Kraken. They only lose 2 turrets for it, and they haven't lost any of their crystal turrets either.
Yeah, well, so there, Snow Tsunami, they got 2 turrets out of it and the whole of the Team Secret's jungle. So all in all, I think that was pretty good going there for Snow Tsunami. And what they have to do is they just have to try and catch Kavalafar unawares. But they really, they don't have that dive that Team Secret do. You've got Sosiska there, but then if she dives in onto Kavalafar, you've got that, it does leave Palmator very open to jump on to look at me or PT Lam then. So they are stuck in a bit of sticky situation with 2 relatively squishy carries there. For me, it's all about trying to take out Kavalafar or just capitalizing on misplays.
Kavalafar's going through the stun, trying to land. PT Lam starting to do some serious damage here, and Kavalafar, 1 shot, 1 kill, will get dodged, so he will dodge a lot of damage in this situation now. Can Team Secret look to punish Snow Tsunami for the overextension? Yes, they can, because PT Lam gets dragged in over the wall, isolated in the middle of the Team Secret lineup. Not long for this world, but Celeste doing all she can to take out Kavalafar in the meantime, but Kavalafar dodges away from the final Heliogenesis, and now Palmatoro, he seeks the blood, and look at me, is going to be the blood that he needs. Comes out of active camo, goes down, and now it's just Catherine left. Team Secret are looking to clear up here. They're looking to try and end the game off the back of this. They could potentially do it with the ace, because that is the first ace of the game, going over to Team Secret, and they're going to look to push into the Snow Tsunami base. They've got a lot of time here, Jingyi. What can they do with it?
I think they're just going to easily push down those last 3 turrets. Third on the cooldown there for PT Lam. They've got those big wave of aced minions there, and they're going to be taken down really fast. And I think that was a major misplay. They saw PT Lam was cut out. I think Look at Me and Sosika just went in a little bit too late. They should have either just gone in a bit earlier or just not gone in at all and just defended 2v3 now, because actually doesn't look like Team Secret are going to finish the game.
No, they don't have the minion wave, but can they take Kraken, which will be respawning just now. As you can see on your map, it has just come back into the middle of the Halcyon Fold. They're going to try and take away some of these camps as they move towards it. They don't spend too much time. They want to get onto this Kraken as soon as physically possible, but Team Secret, no, they really, really, really want that healing camp. They're going to visit the shop first. They're going to try and max out these items. You can see Shatterglass now here for Kavalafar, a quadruple crystal power build coming out for this box.
And I try to think that we're about the positioning of Tsunami. They're so clumped together right now.
So clumped together, and this is the kind of the fallacy that I said. You don't want to come together for Mowgli. So you do want to come together for Mowgli because you don't want to get isolated. You want to make sure that Crucible has full effect. But if you clump together, that just means Crystal Power Box is just going to be able to wreck your team with those resonance bounces. It's kind of like a catch-22 situation, because if Mowgli spots that you are isolated, then Mowgli will try and pick off one of you and force you to either use a reflex block or get hooked in. Snow Tsunami though, they're going for the flank. Kavalafar getting stunned up by the Catherine here. Look at Me is the target. A nice blast tremor will hit a 3-man silence as PT Lam goes way into the back line here, and resonance bounces starting to hurt. The silence comes through, and there is the Solar Storm, but it doesn't do much here for Snow Tsunami. Kavalafar still untouched, still just juking around with that Kraken, and it is a 2-for-0, and Team Secret looking strong as ever.
I don't know if Sosiska's going to be able to get out of this and prevent the ace. She is actually.
Wow, what a great exit there from Sosiska to prevent the ace. That could be potentially the winning move here, or rather, preventing that win for Team Secret. But with the Kraken, you'd say they have a good opportunity to push here, but they may have to win one more team fight, or at least battle with Team Snow around the Kraken to look for the win, because they have only got 18 seconds till Look at Me is up, and obviously if they take one of those turrets, that will reduce the cooldowns of those death timers. So Team Secret looking for the winning push in this first game, but it has been a hard-fought game, Jingyi, believe it or not. It doesn't feel like it, but we're almost at 30 minutes.
It really doesn't, and it's still actually, at 6k gold between Snow Tsunami. They're slowly increasing that lead, but I feel they could actually have a good chance at defending this turret. I feel like just make sure they stand well apart. This is something I've been saying over and over again, but Vainglory, he has so much damage now with that Shark Glass, and that's a little bit too close for my liking, actually.
That was a good Crucible coming out from Snow Tsunami. The wait for it does silence, and look at me is forced back on very low HP. Just the sensible option of going straight back to get some health back, but the Kraken is doing her work as all of this goes on, and PT Lamb taking that frontline position. The Resonance bounces destroy the Kestrel, however. Solar Storm comes out, only lands onto Mowgli. In the meantime, Palmotoro backdooring the Crystal. This will be Team Secret's game. They'll take the first game in this best of 3 series with the help of the Kraken. And this is the Team Secret we're used to seeing. It took 28 minutes here to beat Snow Tsunami in the first game. A testament to these two teams' skill levels.
A very admirable first game, and we did say at the very start, Snow Tsunami and Team Secret, this is a matchup we've seen so many times. We've seen it at the Winter Championships, we saw it at the Spring Championships, we saw it the last, I think in the finals last week, was it? Or we saw it in we've seen them a few times in this split so far.
Well, and almost anything these guys can achieve that they set their mind to. Let's see how Snow want to approach it. They've taken the glaive away. I think this is a smart choice for them. It's one of your top power picks right now, and it's also, like we talked about, the most picked hero for Team Secret.
All right, so a first pick here from Tsunami. I mean, it could be the Vox. It wouldn't surprise me too much if they went for that one. Oh, they're going to go for the Finn first. Interesting. Okay, so this obviously takes it off of Mowgli. This is his signature hero, something he's very well known for, but Mowgli can play a lot of stuff. I think the biggest thing it does for Snow is it just leaves them open to many different comps. It's a very versatile first pick.
It does, but it also says we don't respect your Vox. And I don't know if that's going to come back to bite them. But what they've done this game, and I would expect that Look at Me should be on the Sky. If he takes the Kestrel again, I'll be a bit surprised, and I would say that's probably not the way to go here.
Yeah, I'd like them to put PT Lamb on the Kestrel and put the Sky on Look at Me.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that would be the right decision. And Look at Me has played Sky. Like, I remember his Sky from previous tournaments and stuff. It is pretty good. This does give Team Secret Taka again. So Palmotoro is going to be locking that one in. Kavalifar on the Vox again.
If he can land a nice silence that they can follow up on, those are really keys to victory here.
Okay, let's see if Snow Tsunami can pull out the win, or if Team Secret is going to take this series 2-0 yet again against their rivals, Snow Tsunami. It's going to be an interesting one. Let's pass it off to Excoundrel and Jingyi.
Thank you so much, Action Jackson and Humanist. I'm just reloading my game, so Jingyi will keep you on all the action going on straight away. But this is the second game of this best of 3 series, so Team Secret looking to win this one and secure their place in the final. I'm actually loaded in now, so I can see them at that shop there. Team Secret not beaten, or rather Team Secret beaten to the shop here by Snow Tsunami, and going to have to just be content with taking their camps away for now.
Yeah, it looks like they're just avoiding any fights right now, but so they're playing almost the same comp that they were last game, except that instead of a Finn, we have a Catherine. But I think AJ is going to be a little bit more disappointed by Look at Me playing that Kestrel again, because we're going to be seeing PT Lamb on Sky.
PT Lamb on Sky. I mean, we know his Sky is fantastic, though. We know PT Lamb has got some of the best Sky play in the world. We saw it at the European Spring Split Finals. He was just absolutely godlike on that hero. Kavalifar is going to be on the Vox once more. Looks like he's picking up the attack speed early on, so could be going for that. Well, it's exactly the same composition, so you'd expect him to go for that Crystal Power Vox once more, and then Palmotoro on that Taka. Composition that worked so well for them in the later game, last game of the series, so we expect them to basically ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm a little bit surprised that Snow Tsunami didn't take the Vox when it was open to them and went for the Finn first. I'm kind of wondering why that Finn was so important to them. Did they think it was more important to deny Mowgli off that Finn than it was to deny Kavalifar off that Vox? Because I feel Vox is a power pick right now. If you have it open, you should try and take it.
Yeah, I think Vox is certainly a power pick right now. I mean, he hasn't got one of the craziest win rates in the Evil 8, believe it or not. He's not even in the top 10 of the win rates in the Evil 8, which is really odd, but his hero popularity is 94%. So, it could be skewed by teams who don't quite have the mastery with him and losing with him, but it's just that if you can play him to his absolute best, then he is one of the best heroes, in the entire game.
I like that. I like the vision that they've been lying down already for like an anticipation of Palmatoro there. You know, they know exactly if he's going to be trying invading. Because we saw in the last game, Palmatoro was constantly in Snow Tsunami's jungle there, and by doing this, they know exactly where he's going to be, and I think vision's very important, especially against Taka. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Sasiska did pick up that contraption there, because in those team fights, if Taka runs off, you want to know exactly where he's running off to, or if he's going to be re-engaging at any moment in time.
So I have just checked Lox's win rate from the first split of the Evil 8, and it's 48.39%. It's number 13 on our list. That's probably because he's been played so much. Obviously, that kind of, if you play a lot, and teams who aren't quite as good with him as others play him, it might skew that win rate, but he hasn't got one of the highest win rates in the Evil 8. So, you know, I think a lot of it is that sort of user base. You know, if you're fantastic with him, that's great. So Siska's going to run in here, try and get the polite company down onto Kavalafar, but PC Lamb had just used most of his burst, and Kavalafar knew he was safe, so they are just going to be status quo returned as Mowgli comes to provide that layer of protection here for Kavalafar.
There goes the stun, but it's not going to connect.
Not going to connect, ends up just doing the damage to Siska, who is obviously not going to get stunned. Palmatoro comes through here, lands a cheeky basic attack onto Siska. But
very cheeky.
Yeah, I know, a little bit cheeky, but nothing more than that. It does have the heavy steel, so we are going to see that weapon power. Taka once more.
I think Mowgli's got the wrong skin here. He's wearing Winter War Catherine. Be a Summer Catherine skin.
You know what? If you really wanted it, you could buy it this weekend on the Summer 6 skin sale. Yeah. All skins available for ice. There you go.
I think there isn't a Summer Catherine, though. That's a shame.
Oh, there's not a Summer Catherine. I thought...
I wish there was.
Yeah, I think it would be a pretty good skin. You know, you could just make it a surfboard or a you know, like a parasol or something. Her huge shield. It'd be a pretty easy adaptation, I think.
Yeah, and she has like a sun visor instead of that hat.
Oh, you should be on the design team, Jing.
I should be. It's a shame I can't draw.
You don't need to draw. You just say you're the ideas girl.
Oh, right, okay. The ideas. I like that. It feels like a very official term.
The ideas girl. Well, speaking of ideas, there have been some ideas between these teams about their build paths. So I guess we should take a look at those, Jingyi. Where do we expect things to be going?
Well, it looks like Kavalafar is going to be going for that Crystal Vox again. And I think he's been going, you know, he's been doing the pretty standard build path. He goes for that Alternating Current, he gets that Broken Myth next, and builds a Reflex block sometime in between that. So he has a pretty standard build, you know. I feel that's the thing with Crystal Vox, so there's not really much deviation in terms of his build. But PCN, they're going to go for that Broken Myth first, and sometimes we do see them going for a Frostburn or Shardglass first, but I'm going to go for that Broken Myth first, because Palmatoro, Mowgli, and Kavalafar actually, they've already started to build some shields, so getting that piercing shard there, good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Sorrowblade, I think, for Look At Me as well, who's picked up the Heavy Steel and 6 Sins, so that makes a lot of sense. Weapon Kestrel going for the Sorrowblade, then probably build towards a Breaking Point or a Bone Saw maybe, but we've seen a lot more Kestrels go for Breaking Point recently, Jingyi, so that could be the call here for Look At Me's Kestrel. One shot, one kill, not able to land onto Kavalafar. Death from above, clearing that way. PT Lamb actually going to get extra attitude there, and Palmatoro going to back off after doing a huge amount of damage to the sky. A small trade going in the favour of Team Secret. Mowgli now trying to deal some damage to Siska, but Look At Me wisely staying as far away as he possibly can. And they are just going to clear the waves. Kavalafar just hitting level 6. Small level advantage here for Snow Tsunami, believe it or not. Mowgli has the level advantage on roamers, but due to all the solo farming that Look At Me has been doing, he has hit level 7.
He has reached level 7, so he's actually a little bit ahead of Palmatoro in terms of farm. That might be because he was in the lane a little bit, but you know, he's 11 ahead, and PC Lamb's actually just 1 ahead of Kavalafar. Not the biggest difference in the world, to be honest, but Look At Me's going to get caught out.
Look At Me's going to get caught out. Palmatoro going in, he has to jump away here. X-Retsu picks up the kill, and that is another kill for Palmatoro, and he will start this snowballing train across the 2 series, continuing from a very good weapon power attacker game last game, and already off to a great start in this game, his first kill of the game. And sorry if you could hear my spooky, scary skeleton door behind me. It's my spooky, scary skeleton door.
I see.
The office that I cast from, I live in a very old townhouse, and all of my doors are spooky, scary skeleton doors, so whenever you open them, you just get that creak.
I thought it sounded like somebody was like building something outside, like a drill. It sounded like a drill. That's what it sounded like.
I thought it was like a it. You know, it's like, oh goodness, everyone's going to hear that on stream.
I see it. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
When those open in the night, sometimes you're like,
That's creepy.
Oh my goodness, what the hell is going on in this house?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, you know, I'm kind of surprised it took 8 minutes almost 8 minutes for the first blood to happen in this game. So I think that just kind of shows the pace of the game so far. It's
and the respect
passive.
these teams give to each other, though. You know, it's all about that respect that they realise that if they were to invade potentially haphazardly, they could get punished for it, and they know that Snow Tsunami are the type of team that would punish them quite readily. Kavalafar jumps in here, does take a turret shot for his joy, but the resonance bounces more than make up for the damage that he received. So Siska not level 6, so he can't make that forced accord happen. This could be a fairly difficult situation if he does hit level 6. No one from Team Secret, apart from Kavalafar, is ready to block that forced accord, so they will have to be careful. Really keep an eye on that level of Siska, because I think as soon as he hits level 6, he will be looking to make an engage happen here, Xingyi.
Yeah, I think when the next wave comes, he will be able to reach level 6 for... Oh, he's reached level 6!
He is level
need a
6.
wave.
Yeah, so Mowgli could be a target, but they know. They've seen the level 6 here on Finn, and they are going to back off. They were just trying to do as much work as they can before that threshold was reached, and now Kavalafar is going to head back to lane and start to clear these waves.
Team Secret did a good job on that turret there, when they had that wave. They were able to get a good amount of damage there. I feel like that turret, if they had another good opportunity like that, it would go down fairly quickly. But I think right now, look at me there, I feel like Kestra's very much a bit of more of an early game hero than a late game hero. And I feel like she's a bit more easier to target, especially with a Catherine on the other side. Oh gosh, that's hurt.
Yeah, and PT Lamb jumps in with a Suri strike to try and ward Kavalafar off here. Siska not yet picking a target for his forced accord. Kavalafar does have that reflex block, like I said, no one else yet. I think, obviously Palmatoru could dodge it, so as long as he's quick with his fingers, it'll just be Mowgli that would be having to be careful, but that is Catherine, so you aren't going to be too worried. And they're going to just give away the turret here, and that will be Team Secret again taking that first turret of the game. I would love to see the stats on the team that takes the first turret of the game, what they're then going on to win percentages, because that could be something that's fairly interesting to see. Team Secret seem to do it quite often.
Yeah, they're very good at just kind of managing to take that turret away without any major fights, and I'm hoping that we're going to see a steal on this gold mine like we did from that steal on the kraken.
Yeah, Mowgli, a huge silence across the team. Then there is the wait for it. PT Lamb takes a little bit of damage. Palmatoru jumps in, but he is very low. He's going to use the box to get away. Does get brought back in with that polite company, and Team Secret have realised that they have bitten off more than they can chew. And we'll head back now after not even taking that gold mine either. They did disengage. They didn't want to risk that steal.
They're trying to bait Snow Tsunami out, but it just didn't really work for either side. Snow Tsunami were relatively successful in preventing them from not getting the gold mine, and also from not actually picking up any casualties in that little skirmish, I'd call it. It wasn't even a big fight. They kind of just hit each other a few times and then backed away. Pretty tame, very tame game actually so far.
It is, and like I said, I don't see Team Secret play this passive against anybody but Snow Tsunami. I think every other team I see Team Secret play against, they will just go like ham, absolutely to the wall. But against Snow Tsunami, they take it. It's more of a calculated game, and I think that's just because they know that Snow Tsunami is one of the very few teams that I think, given the right circumstances, can take a game of Team Secret right now.
They're looking pretty good, They're 2.2k ahead, but I feel like Siska, he's got the contraption, the fountain already, so the contraption's a good pickup to try and counter with the attacker's movements, get the good vision established. But I feel like a war choice would be really useful, because repositioning in a team fight, especially when Vox uses his wait for it, is so important. We can see what happens when it does catch them out and they aren't able to reposition, is that the whole team is very quickly chunked down. And then we do see Palmatoru jumping in to finish off the pieces. So by repositioning, that's going to be really important. So I want to see that picked up relatively soon.
Absolutely. So item spikes being hit all over the shop here for Team Secret. We have that double Broken Myth alternating current here for Kavalafar, Bonesaw and Sorrowblade for Palmatoru. Looks like some armor being built up here for Mowgli. He does finish the Crucible just now too. So we'll have a Crucible and a Fountain. It's Eve of Harvest second for PT Lamb, so Broken Myth into Eve of Harvest, and it does look like the next weapon of choice for Look At Me will be, potentially, I think that will be a Bonesaw or a Breaking Point, can't quite see. but Siska in the meantime taking a lot of damage. Silence comes through, and Palmatoro will pick up a kill. So his second kill of the game, 2 kills for Team Secret, and now Team Secret looking to push onto this turret. Mowgli gonna run straight in onto Look at Me. He comes out of the active camo and gets destroyed here. And Team Secret, they'll look to take another turret.
And Peace Lamb, he's farming up the, the side of Team Secret there, the jungle, but is that really the best idea? You lost 2 of your teammates there, and you lost a turret. You may be denying them some of the gold, but all in all, it doesn't seem to balance up quite right in my eyes. And I feel this passiveness 3-0, that is really not showing what it looks like on the map. Is that Tsunami, they've lost 2 turrets already, and they're now 4k ahead of gold in 13 minutes.
Absolutely. Snow Tsunami now. Definitely putting up less of a fight than they did last game. What can they do to make it back here? Is it a case of just wait for Skye to hit a 3-item spike and just keep her safe?
I feel like part of the time... this could be the fight they're looking for. But not or not.
But they don't get the one-shot, one-kill onto the gold mine. Siska again, the target. They are going to take him down. The silence comes through onto PT Land. Death from above does split up Team Secret, but not enough to ward off Palmatoro, who goes in and picks up another kill. And Team Secret, now they're looking to push once more into the base of Snow Tsunami. And Snow Tsunami, they are melting before our eyes.
Yeah, I feel like they're playing. Snow Tsunami. They don't seem very coordinated. Their composition-wise, it doesn't feel very coordinated. You want to be seeing, the force accord pulling in, and then you want them you want the quibble, and then you want them death from above. And so far, Snow Tsunami, it's not very overwhelming performance I'm seeing from here right now, and I feel like they're just more running away from fights. They're not really looking for fights, and by running away, they're giving Team Secret the advantage. They're letting them take a turret. They're letting them take the gold mine. Team Secret are getting something from each time, and I think if Snow Tsunami continues this way, this could be the end of the game pretty soon in 5 minutes if this keeps happening.
So if you were in Snow Tsunami's position, what do you do in a team fight to give yourself the best opportunity to win? Is it a case of making a pick now, or is there something they can do in a full-on 3v3?
I feel what would be a really good opening is to try and get Kivalfar dead, because what we saw in the last game was if once Kivalfar died, the rest fell very like dominoes very quickly. And if they can get Kivalfar, get a force cordon, chain stun him down.
Wait a second, Jingy, because we have a huge fight going on here. Already 1 down for Team Secret, 2 down for Team Secret. Taka picks up the second, and the third will go down to Vox. A massive ace for Team Secret here. It will mean they'll get a free Kraken, and also Vox going to push up this minion wave to give them the best opportunity to take as much as they can once that has been finished.
Again, quite easy game for Team Secret. I've got to say in that last fight, it just seems to me that, maybe the Evil Harvest wasn't the best second item there on PT Lamb. I feel like, it does give him the sustain, it keeps him alive a little bit longer, gives him the energy regen that he needs, but it doesn't give as much damage as a Frostburn or especially a Shard Glass would offer. And I guess as mobile as a Taka and a Vox, who are able to, use the skills to get out of the way of the Forward Barrage, a Frostburn would have been really good to keep them in there. So, my thoughts on the matter.
Your thoughts on the matter. That should be a podcast for you. My thoughts on the matter.
Humanist with his Art of the Throne, my podcast.
Thoughts on the matter, but that's a huge pull in here onto Kivalfar, but Kivalfar still is safe. The damage is just too much from Team Secret right now. So Siska, known to be tanky on that Finn, but just isn't tanky enough as Kivalfar is going to finish him off in the backline. PT Lamb now the target for Palmatoro and Mowgli, and he will eventually go down. This is Team Secret running away with it. They will advance to the final today. They'll go 2-0 over Snow Tsunami here. We're not going to see the Snow versus Snow final that I think everyone potentially wanted to see. It's going to be that Team Secret going through, and they have done it very convincingly, Jingyi. The start to this Evil 8 is just as strong as they were last split. Wonderful performance from these guys.
Team Secret looking on fuego right now, and